What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. I got all your Juventus news, all right, and we are going to talk contract extensions as that is the news of the day with a list of players at Juventus looking to be extended, and we have one who becomes an interesting scenario with yet another disturbance in his continuity. That is Chiesa. Rabiot and Chiesa are both out for the game tomorrow against Lecce. We'll take a look at the details there and Max's entire press conference leading up to this game tomorrow that could see Juventus go top with the 3 points. All right, so like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. We're to kick things off with Djalo, the done deal for Juventus and Lille. He is confirmed by Romeo Gresti to be in Turin tomorrow. Medical set for either Monday or Tuesday. All right. Gudmounsson, he is on Juve's radar. He's also on Milan's and Inter's. 25 million is apparently the valued price for the player. In the summer, we will see, but just chalk him up for now as a potential target list player for Juventus. Now we get to contract extension talk. Iling Jr., what a twist of fate for the player, all right? Widely regarded as a player that was going to be out and sold in the winter mercado. Now is next in line for a contract extension with Juventus. Him and his entourage will be meeting with Juventus over very, very soon to finalize a contract extension, all right? Now, furthermore, with contract extensions, you have Rugani. His is set to be completed to either 2027 or 2028 next month. Weston McKennie also set to get meetings for his contract extension very, very soon. Also to either 2027 or 2028. Kean Yildiz. Yildiz is set to renew with Juventus to either 2028 or 2029. There is a host of clubs interested. Ajax, Liverpool, Dortmund, just to name a few. Juve just wants to completely shut the door. The best part about this news is the fact that Yildiz and his entourage actually mutually proposed this with Juventus, and this is a great sign of things to come. We should lock up this future piece without any issue, the fact that it was mutually proposed. Okay, so great stuff there with Yildiz. Yildiz is creating some freedom for Juventus, and we're starting to see that. Kean kind of being the first player to have this domino effect from the rise of Kean and Yildiz. Kean has terms with Atletico Madrid. They're just waiting to free up the space to bring him in. They need to find a move for Angel Correa to get Kean in there. But apparently between Kean and Atletico, the terms are set for this loan for the second half of the season. Kean doesn't even want to extend or renew with Juventus, which would facilitate a final sale a lot easier by spreading out that salary. So for me, something has broken down there, and it's more than just minutes, but the reports are minutes, and even that doesn't make sense. He had interest in Italy, prefers to go abroad, but if minutes are what you're after, Atletico Madrid has Griezmann and they have a red-hot Alvaro Morata. Are the minutes going to be substantial there? Is that really what's going on? I think it's a little bit more, and I think there's been a breakdown there, and I think maybe Kean thought he should be still getting minutes ahead of the 18-year-old Kean and Yildiz, and maybe that's kind of upset him, but you cannot go away from Kean and Yildiz, and he cannot be denied right now with what he's doing with this side. So essentially, you had Vlahovic, Milik, and Kean vying for one spot, and Kean wants out for those minutes. That's the reports, but I think it's just a breakdown completely, all right? We'll see if anything finalizes there. As far as Yildiz, his rise, Chiesa. Could Chiesa be the next guy that Juve feels a little bit more comfortable in moving away from now? Well, Chiesa is out yet again, all right? So another stoppage to the continuity for this player, all right? And it's frustrating. Rabiot also out for tomorrow's game. So Rabiot's got a calf strain. Chiesa has a flare-up from this latest knee problem. And essentially, this was the surgically repaired knee, but it was a knock in training. So it's not something overly concerning. And we don't know the details behind the scenes. Juve might just trying to play it safe and might have the freedom to play it safe with him and preserve him more because of what Kean and Yildiz is doing, which is integrating quite nicely as a forward. And the argument can be made that he's making more space available for Vlahovic to operate, all right? We see him not shy away from double teams and triple teams, and yeah, it's given Vlahovic some space. So does Juve feel comfortable now in moving Federico Chiesa? Maybe. The contract extension talks with Chiesa and Vlahovic and Juventus are on hold until the end of the season, all right? But these stoppages, every time they happen for Chiesa, that microscope zooms in a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer on the scenario, all right? And going into a contract year, we know he's not going to go to a final contract year. It's either he renews with Juventus or he is sold this summer. Now, for me, where I stand on this, it was a knock in training, this latest knee bout, and this is a flare-up from it, so I'm not overly concerned with that, okay? If Juventus looks to renew Chiesa, for me, when you have Rabiot set to take a pay cut, Allegri would have to take a pay cut. They're trying to spread out Vlahovic's salary. They're trying to cut and still correct that financial balance. There is no way, if Federico Chiesa comes in and wants more money, that Juve can do it. It's not there, and it doesn't make sense. If Chiesa wants to extend at the same money, I extend him. I do that in a heartbeat because I want to avoid patchwork. Patchwork we have seen for years prior, where say we sell Chiesa, we boost the midfield with that. You've taken one from one spot and added to another. We need to find a way to keep Yildiz and Chiesa around and build up more talent, more depth. Next year we'll be in Champions League. So for me, if the money stays the same, I renew him in a heartbeat. And I stand firm on what I said yesterday in terms of Sule. I would sell Sule outright. Even if it didn't mean Coop, it doesn't have to be Coop Manners on the other end of it. I would sell Sule. That's just based on what I think about him as a player, as a talent, and what I see going on. And I'll get into the details on that on tomorrow morning's live show at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. But for Federico Chiesa, I just want to avoid the patchwork, all right? But if a strong offer comes in, he's going to be showcased at the Euros. A very strong offer comes in, you have to consider it. But for me, Felipe Anderson, that's not the answer. Do we have the answer amongst us in Iling Jr., Weah? Maybe. But I think taking him away, I want someone of equal or greater strength coming in. That's just how I feel, all right? And I'm still on the fence about selling some other young guys to get more money because for me, ready now talent is going to be a must. And some of these guys that are contributing, sticking around for balance and depth. It's going to be very interesting, but all eyes will be on Federico Chiesa from now until season's end and what's going to happen there, all right? So we will see. The news, the rumors, all say that it's optimism about finding a renewal between Juventus and Federico Chiesa, but with all these things that start creeping up, we saw a quick change of heart with Paulo Dybala, and I know that there was other instances that played into that and terrible representation from Dybala, but you just never know. We'll see what happens with Federico Chiesa. You guys know the drill. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Now we get to Max's press conference, all right, ahead of this game tomorrow against Lecce. Again, we're going to be live 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, getting you hyped up for it, and I'm going to bring you a live watch along for that game. So, Allegri confirms Rabiot and Chiesa are out for tomorrow, all right? He says he's happy with Cambiasso, and he continues to grow and find his place in this squad. Vlahovic, he says, is calm and serene now, and we're starting to see that in his play. And, of course, Max, talking about the cops, and Rob just said it was just a joke, all right? But he still follows it up with saying Champions League is our goal, and he knows that that is just chewing up at Inter, all right? We keep hearing about the frustrations they have and all the pressure that's getting put on them to go out and take this Scudetto, and we're right on their heels tomorrow. Got to get the job done against Lecce. You guys know where to be, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Can't wait to mix it up with all of you. And like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the content, but let me know what you think about all the news. Are you with me on selling Sule? 66% said no, they wouldn't sell Sule, no matter Coop Miners or anybody. 66% said they would not sell Sule. I knew I was going to be in the minority. Where do you stand, and what do you think about Chiesa's situation? Hit me in the comments. Let's mix it up, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning. As always, fino alla fine, Forza Juventus.